Hi there. Since we're about to start our next novel, The House on Mango Street, thought I'd spend a few minutes to kind of run through the author a little bit. I'll give you a brief bio of her. Um, like Cormac McCarthy, she is still living. I was telling my face-to-face class the other day that when I was going through college as a literature major, um, there was a lot of criticism towards the canon. So the canon is like this imaginary place where all the works of fiction reside, sort of like literary heaven, I guess. But anyway, the criticism was that the canon was filled with a bunch of dead white guys. That's the only things that were considered to be good, classic, were written by those who have died, a dead white guy. Some me think William Shakespeare, John Steinbeck. But as I was going through school, there was a conscious effort to make the canon more inclusive. So as a result, got to read things by a bunch of different authors, from different backgrounds, and Sandra Cisneros was one of them. I didn't read this book in college, The House on Mango Street. I read a book called Caramello, which is really good as well. But we're not reading that. We are reading The House on Mango Street, which is a collection of vignettes, and I explain that in the overview of the course, so make sure you take a look at that. So back to Sandra. She was born in Chicago in December 1954. She's the only daughter among 7. And I have some videos that I'm going to post. One of them is right here about the early years, but like I said, I will post those separately. So a little bit about her family. She was raised Catholic, and that's going to come out a lot in her work, especially House on Mango Street. And you'll probably draw a parallel to our young protagonist, Esperanza. She shares a lot of similarities with Sandra Cisneros, so it's safe to assume that that they kind of share similar backgrounds. We can kind of look to her, to Esperanza, as a sort of a biographical character for Sandra Cisneros. And as a result, since she was raised Catholic, she was pressured to assume a traditional female role. Catholicism kind of, what's the best way to put this? Well, they tend to, as a lot of religious doctrines do, they tend to promote patriarchy, right, which is a male-dominated society. So you have your male, which is supposed to be head of the household, and the female is supposed to be in charge of the domestic sphere, right? She cares for the children. She's in charge of the home. She also moved around a lot. Her family frequently moved between the United States and Mexico. And again, this is something that's going to come up with a few of the characters in the novel. Let's see. We'll skip the part about her writing and go on to, I will show you this link. I will post it on the same page as this lecture here. All right, so some common themes in her writing. So the previous slide, I mentioned that she moved back and forth, right, between the United States and Mexico. So as a result, she kind of feels like, this theme of divided cultural loyalty is going to come up. Also, feelings of alienation, especially in this book. We're dealing with a young protagonist female who's going to be kind of coming of age. She's going to be going through puberty. She's going to be dealing with a lot of these feelings. Sometimes she will feel isolated. Degradation associated with poverty. That's going to come up. Glorifying heroines who dream of economic independence, and celebrating the wicked sexuality of women. So these are all things to look forward to as you read the novel. All right, don't worry about that group quiz. That was for another time and day. But I'm going to end this lecture right here. Again, there will be a couple of videos that I want you to take a look at by Sandra Cisneros, and have fun reading the book. I'll talk to you later.